What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Blazers Uprise Live. Oh, I don't know why I'm playing the stream on my phone for one. Two, tonight's been a struggle, man. So, yeah, tonight's just been a struggle, to say the least. At least my Seattle Mariners won. Yeah, I struggled thinking of a stream topic for today, so it's time to play some Would You Rather. That's what we're going to do. You guys can give us suggestions in chat. We'll do a chat poll. We'll play a game of Would You Rather. And then maybe answer a couple questions. It's going to be a shorter stream today. Probably under an hour. I know every time I always say that, it's always over an hour, but probably under an hour. Also, this hat looks weird forward, so I'm going to turn it backwards. First time I've worn a hat in like a week and a half, but yeah, so stream audio playing on my phone. I didn't even open the stream, so that was weird, but also, just YouTuber issues, man. Photoshop issues. Every time my computer randomly updates, it closes out like 50 Photoshop files that I have open. And then when I start my computer back up and open Photoshop back up, it reloads them. And it takes like 30 seconds to load each. So I literally sat here for 15 minutes waiting to make a thumbnail for Would You Rather. That's the type of night it is. But we're going to hang out with you guys still twice a week, even in the dog days of summer. So anyway, Eric, what's going on, man?
Not much. How was your day?
It was good. I got some shots up. I need new basketball shoes. Had a rec game yesterday that we won. Have a rec game tomorrow, so I've been hooping. Very, very sore. Got my neck cracked out of place, so I'm in pain and need a chiropractor. Other than that, yeah, just chilling, man. Pineapples in chat. I saw him today. What's up, Pineapples? And what's up to everybody joining us? Anyway, yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of weird just not having anything to talk about. Normally, we can always find something to talk about. And we don't really have much to talk about today.
Yeah, not much new news out there.
Should have just went live and stared at the camera for an hour and said nothing and seen how that stream would have done. But anyway, we have something fun for you guys. We're going to play some Would You Rather, alright? So, if you somehow don't know what Would You Rather is would you rather have A happen or B happen? Or would you rather have this player or that player, right? Basically, we're deciding between two different things. So, at any time, suggest a Would You Rather in the chat, and I will jot them down, and we'll run through them, and we'll do a chat poll. And I have one off the top of my mind. I wanted to be more prepared for this, but without anything to talk about tonight, we're just throwing out this Would You Rather stream. On Thursday, we will break down the schedule. So on Wednesday, I'll have a schedule breakdown video, and then Thursday we can talk about the schedule. Eric, if you want to.
Yeah, it looks like opening night's been announced that we're going to be playing the Kings again.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
It's kind of lame, but I just hope we beat them this year because there's a lot of Kings fans that are way overrating their team right now. They are not. Yeah. I mean, I think best case scenario, they're like the 10th seed in my mind. Yeah, I don't have any doubt that the Blazers are going to finish higher than them. So, yeah. It'd be nice to just start off and
yeah. I just read a Would You Rather. That's very Blazery, so to say. But yeah, I mean, this year it's going to be try not to let Harrison Barnes go off from 3 in game 1, and also try not to let Keegan Murray go off from 3 in game 1. I'm nervous because, of course, Keegan Murray's first NBA game is going to come against us, and after how I was like, yeah, I don't think he has star upside, we would be the type of defense to magically let him go for 30 in his first game. So I'm a little bit worried. You're going to have Jeremy Grant against Keegan Murray, and then I don't know, Nasir Little against Harrison Barnes. I like those matchups a little better than Norman Rocco, because Rocco in opening night last year just like pretended like Harrison Barnes didn't exist and was hunting his steals. So hopefully we can get revenge and beat them on opening night in their place after they beat us last opening night in our place. But I'm interested to see how the schedule breaks out or pans out. And then that breakdown, I'll have like strength of schedule or projected strength of schedule by month. And I will break it down by month, just like I've always done. I think this is going to be the 5th schedule breakdown I've ever done, which is kind of wild. So I already have a system for it.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that. What did you think of the Christmas games? Did you have an opinion on the Christmas games?
They're fine. The only one I'm really looking forward to is Memphis and Golden State. I hope that's their first meeting of the season because, if you remember back to last season, that both Draymond and all the Grizzlies players took to social media to talk a lot of crap to each other, and might be a fun, very chippy game. Assuming they haven't played each other prior to that. So hopefully that's their first meeting of the season. But yeah, the other games are, I mean, I understand why. And for anyone that's like disappointed the Blazers aren't on there, they're not going to have many national TV games this year. So just get that in your head now. I don't want to see people that are listening right now to us on like social media complaining about how the Blazers are getting screwed again. They're not getting screwed. They have to prove it again and be good again. When they were good, they started getting national TV games. Mm-hmm. They got on Christmas Day, but until they get back to that point, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we're not a big market, and we're coming off a season where we were the 6th worst team in the league. Like, we're not going to have a ton of nationally televised games. Like, that's just the way it's going to be. No point to even get too worked up about it. But I wish they put the Clippers up against the Suns for Christmas Day. That would have been a good game. Instead, it's, Suns-Nuggets?
Yeah, Suns-Nuggets, which is an interesting game. Nuggets are kind of...
the Suns have owned the Nuggets.
As much as I like Jokic, they aren't the most entertaining team. Although if they have all their guys back, it should be a pretty good game.
Yeah. So,
and we got NFL games competing with them that day for the first time in a while. So
do we? How many games are that day?
I think there's at least 3 NFL games that are going to directly.
Is Christmas on a Sunday?
I don't know if it's a Sunday or a Saturday or something, but
It is a Sunday, okay, so that makes sense. But still, normally they do it on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they should have done. They should have treated Saturday like Sunday. Let the NBA have their Sunday. The NBA doesn't play games on Thanksgiving, right? So the NFL shouldn't be playing games on Christmas, is how I look at it. You got Saturday, because college football isn't being played on Saturday, so they're able to play on Saturday at that time.
I mean, the NFL doesn't care. They're going to just...
I get it, but I don't know if that's even beneficial. Like Friday night, Saturday night, Monday night, like you got a lot of days at your disposal because you can play Friday night even because there isn't any high school football then. So, I mean, big action-packed sports day, I guess. The Blazers are not playing on Christmas, though. No surprise there. But, yeah, we'll see how the schedule breaks out. We'll see if it's an easy early season schedule or a hard one. Last year it was a hard one, and the easy part was when we were trying to tank. So we'll see how it shakes out. And it'll be interesting to see, what the road trips look like with travel up here in the Pacific Northwest. Usually we travel more than any other team, so it'll be interesting to see how some road trips play out and whatnot. Looking forward to it. Anyway, any other news or topics that you want to talk about before we get into this?
Max says the Lakers suck and they're still on national TV.
Big market.
They got big market and LeBron James, so that's different. If we somehow get LeBron, then we'll all of a sudden have a bunch of national TV games as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The first would you rather that I saw, Pineapple says, would you rather have shin splints or patellar tendinopathy? As somebody that has probably had both, shin splints is more painful, but it's not as chronic in my experience. Cause, dude, my knees are not good, man, and I've probably had patellar tendinopathy. I haven't been diagnosed with it, but I thought that was funny because that's a very Blazers-esque question, just asking about being injured or knee pain or shin pain.
Yeah, although I think if your shins are hurting, you can kind of make do with knee pain as long as you could get braces and stuff like that. But if your shin is not allowing you to run, then it's pretty much over, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've tried braces for my knees. They feel so weird and so I can't do it.
I'm not saying it's ideal. I'm just saying in theory you could maybe do something to protect your knee or to
Yeah.
make it not bend or whatever. But like with a shin splint, there's not like a you can't really like put a cast on your leg and play basketball or something, you
Absolutely. Dude Smooth 007 says, would you rather start Nas or Josh Hart? I'm going with Nas. And this is like our last stream we had this conversation. We did a lineup stream where we had this conversation. At this point, I mean, I don't have a preference because I want whoever starts to earn it in training camp in the preseason. So I don't have an opinion on this, to be quite honest with you. I know that's a cop-out answer, but that's what I've said, is I want whoever the starter is to earn it. But then also, if you're going to give Shaden Sharp minutes, it's hard to also start Nas at the 3 and play other guys enough minutes. So, that's the thing, is if it's even, but Shaden Sharp looks phenomenal, then I'd probably go with Josh Hart and play Nas more at the 4. At the backup 4 spot. So the lineups are interesting to see how they'll sort themselves out this year, and there's a lot of moving parts at this point. I don't really have an opinion, man. I know Eric would go...
How about this answer, Tori?
Yeah.
We both want it to be Nas if he is truly as good as some of the people say he is in practice and is earning it and proving it on the court.
Yeah. We had a whole stream, in case you guys missed it, on Thursday. We had a whole stream. Basically, I'm not going to buy too much into, like, words, like hype, like preseason hype. There's always, every preseason, it always feels like there's somebody who looks really good or somebody that does well in training camp and this and that. And, the Mike Barrett, so-and-so has gained 20 million pounds and looks like the Hulk in practice, right? That was the Mike Barrett thing. I'm just going to wait and see how guys look on the court is kind of where I'm at. But yeah, if those words are indeed true, then yeah, Nasir Little should be the starting 3. At this point, I mean, I'm in wait and see mode. We'll see. Starting 3 next year, I'll do a chat poll. Josh Hart, Nasir Little are your 2 options. I feel like the community is going to vote Josh Hart, or not Josh Hart. I feel like the community is going to vote Nasir Little here. If I had to pick one, dude, I don't even know. It's completely 50-50 for me. Shoot, start one of them half the time and one of them the other half.
Every other game.
yeah. And if you're going up against a 3-guard lineup, then maybe you start Gary Payton the second for a game. I don't think it's even necessarily something where you have to have a starter, just as long as guys have consistent roles and are used the same way, where they can find a rhythm. So it could be situational. Most of the time you want to find a de facto starter, but with 3 really high quality, unique players, I think you can. I don't know if you have to pick one specifically. Emerson says OG in chat, yeah. If only, man.
Yeah.
There's a good one after this. Chat, yeah, no surprise there. 37 votes, 78% Mr. Little. As I predicted. All right, Eric. Would you rather, this is from Max the Lakers fan, would you rather, he says trade for, and I think it's impossible, so I'll just say, would you rather have Russell Westbrook or Ben Simmons on this team next year?
Ben Simmons, 100%. I don't even think it's close in my mind.
If Ben Simmons doesn't play a single game and is a headache all season, would you rather have that?
I'd still rather have Ben Simmons. Yep.
He'd still take Ben Simmons. I would too. I tried to make that more of a debate.
I mean, at least if he plays, he's going to give you good defense, and there's other problems with him, but you can maybe somehow manage around that. Whereas Westbrook's going to try to take over games, and you can't really tell him to just worry about defense and don't worry about offense if you're not feeling confident in shooting, because that's not going to happen. So, yeah, I'm 100% taking Ben Simmons.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me your would you rathers in chat.
I don't think we need a poll, but just let us know if someone would rather take Westbrook. Give me a reason in chat, like why you would.
Yeah, this dude with the name of High says Russ, maybe because he's high.
Just tell us why.
Yeah, tell us why, High. Give me your would you rathers in chat. I have one
right.
for you, Eric, unless you were about to say one.
Go ahead.
Would you rather have the 49ers win 2 Super Bowls or have the Portland Trail Blazers win 1 NBA Finals?
Blazers.
Is that because of the channel, or would that be the case if we never did
It would be the case no matter what. I would say you could have all my other teams, including like the Beavers, win national championships in both basketball and football for the rest of the time those sports exist, and I would still choose 1 title of the Blazers over hundreds of titles with all my other favorite teams. Not that I really... I mean, people are going to take that as me not liking other teams as much, but the Blazers are my number one passion. I've seen the 49ers, albeit last time they won, I was, 15 years old, 14 years old or something. So I've seen the 49ers win several Super Bowls. I've seen them come close to winning a couple Super Bowls with fourth quarter leads recently. Unfortunately, didn't get it done. But it's I would do anything for a Blazers championship because I can't imagine through everything, especially if it's with Dame, and that it doubles if it's with Dame.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would take, if we're 2 Niners championships versus 1 Blazers championship, I'd go with 1 Blazers championship. But if you're talking about a championship for all my teams, if you're talking about a championship for the Niners, the Seattle Mariners, and Gonzaga especially, I would take that.
And Kyle Busch winning the FedEx.
Kyle Busch has already won 2 championships.
I know, I'm just kidding.
yeah, that's not the same, man. Yeah, in case anybody doesn't know, I watch NASCAR too. I watch a lot of different things. So, honestly, out of all those teams, I would probably want Gonzaga to win a championship the most, other than the Blazers, of course, because the Blazers are obviously my number one choice there. For me, man, if you throw a Gonzaga championship into that would mean a lot to me, considering how, their whole storyline is really awesome and how they've built themselves up, and the only thing missing is a championship, and they've been close. And despite going on deep tournament runs, the knock against them is they can't get the job done. So for them to win a championship would mean a ton to me. Probably mean more than a Niners or Mariners championship. But I don't know how much a Mariners World Series win would mean to me, because I don't know what it's like to even watch them play in a play-in or a playoff game. So, I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll see this year. Thank God they won tonight. But yeah, obviously with the channel and everything, I mean, an NBA Finals win would be phenomenal for the channel. But if you're talking Gonzaga, Niners, and Mariners championships, I'd take that.
I think seeing Dame host the NBA championship trophy, hopefully in that case the NBA Finals MVP trophy as well. Just after a couple years ago when Giannis did it and seeing how emotional he got, that not even being a fan of the Bucks, I was a little emotional seeing Giannis get over the hump and do it. So I can't imagine that being Dame, and I just think that would impact. That would just have such a lasting impact on my life to get to witness that. And you guys know I leave my heart on my sleeve when it comes to rooting for the Blazers. Not that I don't do it for my other sports, but man, that would be outside of a few family things would be the best day of my life.
Yep. JM1231 $2 dono says Mariners and Blazers would be about equal for me. Shout out to JM for the $2 dono. Yeah, I don't know what would mean more, a Mariners or a Niners championship. Niners have gotten really close, so, I've gone all in on fandom for them more than the Mariners, because at this point, normally I'm not paying attention to the Mariners, and I like football more, but given how down bad the Mariners have been basically my entire lifetime, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Give me your would you rathers in chat. Let me respond to this. Andy Martian says, I rewatched the 2019 draft stream. Tori, you had so much hope for Nas back then. What happened to all that, man? And I'll say this one final time. for anybody that missed the stream, I still have all the hope in the world for Nasir Little. All right? My whole thing is I need to see it on the court before I fully buy into him being something that he hasn't showed yet. Right? So that's where I'm at with Nas. That's not a negative thing. People take that as a negative thing. We had this whole stream on Thursday about it. I just want to see it on the court before I maybe get a little bit ahead of myself. If that makes sense. Still have all the hope in the world. I just don't understand why people take that as such a negative thing. Anyway.
All right, I got a couple. Chicken BS. If you could keep Ant but had to let Nas and Sharp go, or keep Nas and Sharp and let Ant go, who would you pick?
Like just for nothing?
Yeah, like let's just say you could only pick Ant and no Nas and Sharp, or you could keep Nas and Sharp but you had to let Ant go.
I would keep Nas and Sharp because the hope would be that Sharp hopefully at some point could become Anthony Simons. You know what I mean? Like different types of players, but if you could have maybe somebody that could replace Anthony Simons in 3 years and then Nasir Little, who can hopefully break out, then I would take both those over just Anthony Simons. Because I don't think with just Anthony Simons, they have the upside without Sharp and Nasir Little to ever win a championship or have enough trade assets to trade for a guy that'll help them win a championship. With Sharp and Nas, you're probably worse now, but in the next 3-4 years, you probably have a little bit higher upside and might, if everything breaks right, be good enough to contend. So that's where I'd go with Nas and Sharp. What about you, Eric?
Ant's my guy, so I'm going to roll with Ant because Nas and Sharp are both more unknown, so you have a chance of neither of them being truly good starter level players. We don't know. They could both be, or neither of them could be. Whereas with Ant, I already project him to be a good starter. He showed that in a stretch last year that he could be much more than just good in stretches. So I've already seen him do it on the court. We know he can shoot the three lights out as well. So I'm going to take the known commodity and the guy who does still have a huge ceiling.
Yeah. This is ironic set of answers given the past stream, but yeah, I just don't think we'd be good enough to ever win a championship. So like, yeah, if we were contenders, it would be a different answer for me. If we were like contenders or really close to contending, then I'd say keep Ant. I just don't feel like we are that close, and we just need we need as many upside swings to pan out. And Nas and Sharp are 2 swings for me. So that's kind of how I look at it. And we're going to need a starting 3 of the future, right? So Nas slots in, Sharp could play the 2. Yeah, that's tough. That's a really good question. That's the type of would you rather questions we are looking for. Chat is pretty divided. 55% say Anthony Simons, 45% say Nasir Little and Shaden Sharp.
Yep. Eli Hanna asks, would you rather be at Brandon Roy's jersey is retired game or the game that Dame breaks Clyde's franchise record scoring game?
Oh, wow. Do you have an answer?
Yeah. So this is going to sound like a knock on Brandon Roy, but I was at Clyde Drexler's retirement game, and I feel like that game put a hex curse on the franchise. And not that he didn't deserve to be retired. He's a all-time great Blazer, of course. Arguably the best Blazer of all time. Definitely in the conversation, top 3. Anyone has him outside of their top 3 Blazers of all time is just wrong. But just kind of, I don't know. My bad feelings about that have led me to not really care about retirement ceremonies, so I'd probably take Dame's breaking the record of this all-time scoring record for the franchise.
57% went Ant, 43% Nas and Sharp. I'll do a poll for this one as well. As somebody who got into I really got into Trailblazers basketball in 2006 when Brandon Roy was a rookie. I would probably go Brandon Roy jersey retirement. I've been at some of Dame's greatest moments. So, I've gotten the Dame experience in person. Was at his buzzer beater against Houston. Was there when he dropped 59 against Utah. I've seen some big Dame moments, but, never got any sort of closure with Brandon Roy, I didn't even get to watch that game 4 against Dallas when they had that crazy comeback because I had a high school summer league game during it. So I was getting scores updated from the stands for that one. So I would probably go with Brandon Roy's jersey retirement. Because I don't know. We're going to get more great Dame moments, It's it would be one final Brandon Roy moment. So I would probably go with that. Let me do a poll for this.
I don't know. Does it help or does it hurt that Roy's been kind of, I don't know what the right word is, avoiding of the franchise since he retired? I know he's done a couple things, but for the most part, he hasn't really been a part of Blazer. The franchise. I don't know. I'm sure he'd be welcome to be, but
given the way his career just got screwed over, I can't really blame him, man. I feel like if I was in his shoes, it would be tough for me to come back to a Portland game, knowing that I should still be playing for him, right? It would be tough. You could potentially, you put in all this work all your life, and you get to the point where you're looking like you could be a top 75 player of all time when it's all said and done. Who knows how good Brandon Roy could have gotten because he was still very young, and then you just get that taken away from you due to knee issues. Emotionally, that would be really hard to handle. The fact that he's been distant, I can't blame him, man, because I don't, if I, he wasn't a Blazer fan growing up. If I wasn't a Blazer fan growing up and then I had that happen to me, I honestly might cope with it and handle it in the same way, so at this point, enough time has passed that hopefully he's in a good place. And extending that olive branch with a jersey retirement, I think could be really good closure for not only, the Brandon Roy Trailblazers chapter, which just ended with him just retiring in the preseason, medically retiring in the preseason in 2011-2012, and then he played a few games for the Timberwolves to try and make a comeback. It just didn't have a proper close to it. So, it could be good closure for fans, and it could be good closure for him as well. So that's what I would choose.
So I must have misunderstood what you said. Are you saying that Roy should blame the franchise for what happened to him?
No.
You just said
no.
So you just think what happened to him leads you to be okay with him avoiding the NBA in general? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think it was just, it was really hard for him to handle, man.
Right.
I mean, I can't speak for him, but just wanting to step away and just separate himself from the career that got robbed from him, I don't blame him for that. It got robbed from him due to his knee injuries, so I can't blame him at all for that. So, that's the thing is it could be a really good moment not only for Blazer fans and the organization, but also for him. And I am in the boat that they should retire his number. A lot of people hate that, but the Blazers were in a dark spot with the Jail Blazers era, and then they struggled. Brandon Roy comes along, pulls them out of that, kind of reinvigorates the fan base, is the leading cause of the reinvigoration of the fan base, and would have been possibly the greatest Blazer of all time had he not have gotten screwed over due to injuries. Nobody has worn 7 since him, and it would be weird. Still, to me, it would still be weird a decade later if somebody wore number 7.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, when nobody's worn number 7 for a decade, and it would be weird if somebody wore number 7, just retire it. So I am all aboard with them retiring it.
Yeah, he gave permission to Carmelo, but Carmelo decided to stick with 0, so that was kind of cool of Carmelo to not take it too. So yeah, I have no problem if they want to retire it. Now we're going to retire number 6 for Bill Russell, even though he didn't play for the Blazers, which I'm still okay with as well. But the Blazers have a ton of. It's like if they only had a couple of jerseys retired of like select players, it'd be one thing. But I mean, they have some players that were just part of a championship team that didn't really do a whole lot outside of a few years for the Blazers. And so I don't see what the difference is other than not winning a championship for Brandon Roy. So at this point, you might as well just retire as many numbers as are worthy of it.
Yeah. And there's, 100 numbers, man. I mean, I don't think we're going to run into a problem anytime soon. If we do, then you create a Ring of Honor, and some of those guys on that championship team, you bring back their numbers into use, and you induct them into a Ring of Honor, right? Like, at some point, enough time has passed, because that's the thing. They're not going to run into a problem with jersey numbers probably for the next at least 100 years, like that's not something to worry about in my opinion. So I know some people have brought that up, but I don't think that matters. At least that doesn't matter to me. And honestly, how cool would it be to see Dame involved in a Brandon Roy jersey retirement somehow?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that'd be dope, man. I'd want to be there for that. I'd want to be there for that. Make his jersey retirement the game where Dame breaks Clyde's record. How about that?
The same game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty close to happening, so I think they could maybe time that out. Yeah.
But 2/3 of people said they would want to go to the game where Dame breaks Clyde's record. 1/3 basically says they'd want to go to Brandon Roy's jersey retirement. I feel hopefully I made a pretty good case for the minority there.
Yeah. And while we're on the subject of Roy, JM1231 with another $2 donation, thank you. Would you take a healthy Brandon Roy or a healthy Greg Oden for their whole career?
I mean, Brandon Roy. That's pretty easy for me. I don't even... Everything that I've said about Brandon Roy is why I'd want a healthy Brandon Roy for his career, man. He was an extremely fun player to watch. He had proven that he was that guy, potentially future top 5 player in the league. And I loved watching his games, so absolutely Brandon Roy.
Clutch too.
Yeah, and I don't think Oden, even if he was healthy, those types of bigs don't have the longest shelf life, right? You look at Dwight Howard, any athletic bigs, even if they're healthy, their athleticism tends to leave them earlier than smaller players, it seems.
Howard did have back issue.
Yeah, but I think Howard would have went that route eventually anyway. Obviously, if we're talking about healthy, who knows, but when has a big been as athletic as Oden or Dwight Howard and been fully healthy? Has that ever even happened? I don't know if that's even physically possible to be that much of a freak of nature in terms of just being a 7-footer that's that athletic and healthy. So, yeah, I'd go Brandon Roy. I saw some people say Oden, but I'd go Brandon Roy.
Yeah, I think starting in the early 2000s, around the 2003 draft, obviously you had LeBron, Melo, Dwayne Wade. The wing position just became so much more important in the NBA. And I'm not saying a center can't dominate, but you look at Jokic and Embiid, the 2 best centers in the NBA right now, they haven't gotten close to a championship either. So, yeah, I would just say, I mean, they still have plenty of time to do so, but I would take my chance with a star wing versus even if they are one of the best big men in the NBA. Still, I feel like the difference between possibly getting a center that's, at least competent versus a star center versus having a much lesser wing than Brandon Roy would have been in that scenario. I just feel like let's just say we had Wes Matthews instead of Brandon Roy. So it was like Wes and Odin versus I can't think of a mediocre center, but like Roy and whoever. Prisbilla. We had Prisbilla for a while, right? I just feel like Roy just impacted the game so much more. Not that Odin couldn't have eventually, but like it was kind of going away from the generational big man, even if he is a generational big man, being the difference between winning a championship or not.
I mean, but we don't know if he would have been a generational big man.
Yeah. I'm just saying, even in the best case scenario, he is,
I'm not arguing you. Gray Hughes just said, man, no way, couldn't agree less. Odin would have been a generational, player if healthy. He was nuts. I don't see how you can say that with any certainty. He could have been, but would have been, I don't know, man. I mean, we didn't get to see him, so that's the unknown. Brandon Roy, we knew was an all-star caliber player. That's part of the reason why I'd go Brandon Roy. Greg Oden, with the game moving a little bit away from him, it's not like he had anything close to any sort of ball handling ability or, wasn't really much of a jump shooter. It's hard for players like that to be generational. And sure, he could have developed some things, but, I mean, he would have had to develop things. He was physically dominant, but, I mean, I don't know if that counts as generational. So, that's the tough part with deciding Odin there, is he's an unknown.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah. Do you have others on tap?
It's sad, man, when that's both from the same era and from the same team, man. What could have been? Let's see. Let me scroll back up.
Here, I have one from Taylor Packer if you want to look for the next one.
Go ahead.
Would you rather win a championship and be the absolute worst team in the league for the next 15 years while drafting nothing but busts, or keep our current future, whatever that is?
I mean, I'm taking the title. I'll be the Florida Marlins if I get to see Dame win a title this year. I'll be bad for 15 years.
Oh, man. As a fan, I would take the title. As a YouTuber covering the Portland Trail Blazers, I don't know.
I mean, we could be right every year if we just say that the Blazers, whoever they pick, is going to be a bust.
Yeah, how many people watching this stream right now are still going to be here after 15 years of just nothing but busts and failure? If we're the next Seattle Mariners. Hopefully all 115 of them that are watching right now, but I'm not too sure, man. I don't know if I don't know how many people have the appetite for 15 years and drafting nothing but busts, man. So as a YouTuber, at least the roller coaster is entertaining and it makes for good content, right? If it's just straight garbage for 15 years, that'd be tough. So as a fan, I'd absolutely go with the championship, Dame winning the championship and all that, man. It'd just be freaking tough as a YouTuber.
So what would happen to the team?
I don't know. I mean, in that situation,
we'd retire on the spot after winning a championship or something.
I mean, in that situation, cool. We'd have to take stand-up comedy courses or something like that, Eric. We'd have to become just top-notch comedians just for the entertainment value, because the team obviously wouldn't provide any in that situation.
We could just be like Gabe and pretend we're going to get the best player every year, and then that doesn't happen, and then be all bad and be like, I was told they were going to get him.
You almost made me spit my drink, man.
Sorry.
Sorry,
yeah. Gabe. That was a low blow.
No, Gabe admits it, man. Gabe admits it, so it's fair game if Gabe says it, right? Gabe says shots fired. um,
Love you, Gabe.
See, we'd be talking about, dude. That means we'd be picking like top 5 or 6. So it'd be guys that are supposed to be really good. Like it would basically be Sacramento Kings. Yeah, I mean, we just talk college basketball here. That's what we do. Do you have any others that you see? I'm scrolling up looking for more.
Some of them can't read. Would you rather play Justice Winslow or Jabari Walker this year?
Jabari Walker.
Yeah, me too. I have a feeling it's going to be Winslow getting the first opportunity over him, but
yeah.
But would you rather sign Boogie Cousins or bring back Myers Leonard? Boogie Cousins
yeah,
for
take
sure.
Boogie. I mean, yeah. Like I know Myers has tried to make up for that live stream gaffe he had, man, or whatever you want to call it. Like I know he's tried to make up for it. Like good on him for trying to, do good things after that. But I can't advocate for Myers Leonard after that, man. Like I just can't. Especially somebody with a platform, I can't. So anything with Myers Leonard, I will go away from Myers Leonard. So Boogie Cousins, easily. What else?
Levin's enthusiast says, would you rather Shaden be an Anthony Bennett level bust or trade Dame for an extremely underwhelming package? Man, what kind
Who
of
be an
question
Anthony
is
Bennett level bust?
Shaden Sharp?
I mean, that over Dame for what was the package?
An underwhelming package, it says. Yeah.
I say keep Dame no matter what, so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have Nas start dating a Kardashian or have Ant pull a Markel Fultz? Why would I want Ant to lose the ability to shoot over Nas dating someone?
Right. I mean, I don't know. Nas isn't like a star yet, so would it really be a curse if he's not a star yet? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. I'll take him dating a Kardashian, and it could be.
What a question.
Kendall.
Kennedy Jenner. He can steal her from
Kendall, so that there's some beef then between us and the Suns, and then we have some fun back and forth there. Yeah.
Devin Booker won't want to fight Nas though, man. Devin Booker ain't winning that fight. I have full confidence in Nas in that regard. Okay, all right. Anyway, I mean, I'm sure I know what Gabe would want there though. Gabe would want Nas to take the Kardashian from Devin Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Gray Hughes investigates to say in Odin's stats, just because he averaged 11 points per game and 8.5 rebounds doesn't mean he was automatically gonna be generational. Like he could have been, but wasn't a sure thing. And 11 points per game and 8.5 rebounds doesn't really argue against that. Nurkic has averaged more points or rebounds than that. Alright, let me find something else. Would you rather have to start a YouTube channel from scratch or switch teams from Taylor Packer? If I start a YouTube channel from scratch, would I have to ditch this one? Like start over in terms of Blazers coverage? And like none of you guys knew who I was? I don't know. There's context with that. If I knew everything I know about YouTube, I would absolutely start a channel from scratch because I have full confidence I'd be able to get something off the ground because of the knowledge I have graphically and being on air. Like with the knowledge that I have, I feel like I could successfully like start a channel from scratch. Like 5 years ago, I had no clue and had no chance, right? I mean, I can't switch teams. I'm not a fan of another team, so at that point, I just go start over and make you guys love me all over again. Blevins Enthusiast says Nurkic is shooting 60% from 3 in Eurobasket, and his release looks way quicker, Eric.
Yeah, looks promising. It's a small sample size, though. We'll see. He's got the green light, though. You like to see it.
Yeah. River says, would you rather have one night with Kendall or delete the Blazers Uprise channel? Dude, I'd take a night with Kendall for free. Why would I, delete the channel instead of taking a night with Kendall? I mean, I'd pay for a night with Kendall. Come on now.
Or are you just admitting to...
I mean, I'm a sane human being, man. I mean, I'm a single guy, and she's extremely pretty. Okay, yeah. I'm not deleting the channel instead of taking her on a date. All right.
I'll take the night and then, but not hang out with her. I'll just let all of you go out on the town with her, and I'll stay home.
All 114 of us?
Yep, you can all go out and have the time of your lives with her. But
Gabe says I'm down bad. I think I'm up good, but Taylor Packer's asking good ones. You should ask this to Eric too. All right. He says, Tori, would you rather age yourself 20 years overnight or make Eric into a 7-year-old overnight? So, Eric, would you rather make me into a 60-year-old, or would you rather age 20 years overnight?
Man. There's not a good answer here. I don't want to get closer to death, but I also don't want to be selfish either, so I'll just say I'll age myself. I don't care, because I'm already old, so...
That's the one I'm gonna skip, Taylor Packer. I'm not answering.
You can be selfish. It's fine.
Get
a little bit of gray in that hair. Be a little more distinguished.
Dude, I'm not ready to be 46 years old, man. All right, I'm just gonna say it right now. Oh my god. Oh god, that's a donation too, Eric. Oh my goodness. Do you have any others that you want to read off before I read this freaking dono?
No, let's just...
Shout out to Hyperprime, $2 dono. He says, Tori, Kendall Jenner or Valkyrie, the streamer. Valkyrie the streamer is my celebrity crush, so her. The 100 Thieves owner, yeah. Anyway, we're going to have to remove some comments that are very vulgar in chat. We're going a little off the deep end here. Thank you, Hyperprime, for the $2 dono.
I'm glad that just us, Tori. That's good.
Yeah, if somebody wants to clip that and send that to her and be my wingman and help me out and say that I chose her over Kendall Jenner, be my guest, all right? My hair isn't gelled up though, so I'm probably not going to work, unfortunately. Anyway,
KGD asks, would you rather have a Bledsoe and Blevins backcourt or Hazonia and Anthony Tolliver front court?
I mean, either way, it's going to suck. At least Blevins brings the entertainment value and the meme quality, so I'd go Bledsoe and Blevins.
But if I have Hazonia and Tolliver, can I still have Dame and Ant?
Yeah. I mean, in that case, yeah, I'd go with that. But just, in a vacuum where nothing else is considered.
Right. Would you rather sit dead center in the 200 level or behind the basket courtside?
Behind the basket courtside.
Yeah, me too. That's where Jody sits.
Yeah. Closest to the court is what I care about, basically. Mm-hmm. So that much of a difference, I'd just take the baseline. Normally I sit baseline anyways, because they're a little cheaper. Eli Hanna says, would you rather co-host a podcast that must not be named or miss the Blazers championship parade? I'm missing the Blazers championship parade.
Oh, so
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I wouldn't miss the Blazers championship parade because that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I would take the I would take the co-hosting. What about you, Eric?
Yeah. I mean, might be a good opportunity to show someone up. Rip City Brady obviously missed the last Would You Rather, and is all caps. Would you rather bring Stotts back as head coach or bring Neil Olshey back as GM? It's clearly Stotts not being brought back. For me, I'd rather bring back Olshey, as disgusting as that is.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I agree. Gray Hughes investigates $5 dono. What's up, Gray? Thank you for the dono. He says, would you rather have a player that scores 40 a game and is good, or would you rather have a team of players who play together and play hard? I mean, the team with the player that scores 40 a game is probably, going to be better than the team that has a team of players who play together and play hard. Just like average guys. So I'd take Michael Jordan, basically.
You need a star to win at least one. It's very rare that you have a team. I mean, maybe the 2004 Pistons. Yeah. So if you have a guy that could score 40 and you put the right pieces around him, I think you're in good shape.
Oh, he said, I just mean the player scored 40, but the team wasn't that good. Yeah, in the end, whatever the better team is, I would take, basically, is how I'd answer that. Like, yeah, I would like to see team basketball more than, hero ball, but I want to see the team be as good as possible. Yeah,
I'd probably, after watching last season, I think I'd vote for, if that's the case, the team that plays hard every night, because at least, they're at least trying.
Shout out to Hyperprime, $2 dono, another dono from Hyperprime. Thank you, man. Says, besides Dame, who is your favorite player? No Blazers. So our favorite non-Blazer player in the league.
Could it be ex-Blazers?
I would say no ex-Blazers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But who's your favorite non-Blazer in the league?
Well, I talked about Giannis winning earlier. It's pretty cool. Trying to think who else. Jackson's already guessing on yours.
Yeah. My answer is Chet Holmgren, believe it or not.
Yeah, Thomas Oransky. I like Mikal Bridges.
It's easier to. I mean, for me, I'll just go to guys that played at Gonzaga, or like former Blazers. CJ.
Well,
so with no ties, Mikhail's up there. Giannis is up there. I agree with both of them.
I'm trying to think.
Halliburton.
There was a guy. Yeah, Halliburton's a good one. If there was, Ethan Thompson, I think, was on the summer league team of the Bulls, but he hasn't played, I don't think he's on the NBA this year. So I can't. Both former Oregon State players that are in the NBA are now on the Blazers. So I can't even go that route.
That's funny.
But I like a lot of unselfish players like Jokic, although he can be kind of dirty at times, so I don't like that part of it. But one guy I really like, because he plays a lot like me nowadays, is Kenneth Lofton. So I'll root for him.
Huh.
Just a guy
you're hitting pull-up threes?
Just a guy, well, not necessarily now, but like...
I'm here for that.
I played like him back in the day. But like a guy who's a little on the bigger size, doesn't look super athletic, but can break you off the dribble and pull it from three, but also like use his physicality in the post to score. So...
Yeah. Roy says, Tori, would you rather play in the NFL or NBA? Obviously NBA. They get paid more, and I like basketball more, and you're not going to end up with the brain problems that you have in the NFL, so...
What if you're like the kicker?
Man, I don't want to be no kicker. That's a lot of pressure. Let's see. What else do we got? I'm scrolling up looking here.
Ray Hughes investigates with another $5 donation. Thank you, Gray. What player do you hate but wish was on your team?
This is honestly, thank you, Gray, for the $5 dono. This is honestly an easy answer. Like a really easy answer.
The Draymond.
Yeah.
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 Man, I really since what 20 the 2016 offseason, I can't stand Kevin Durant, but I would gladly have him on the Blazers.
See, yeah. I mean, Kevin Durant's up there too, but I really want, I really want Draymond.
Rip City Brady says, "Would you rather the Blazers pair Giannis with Dame or prime KD?" I'm taking Giannis just because I like him.
Yeah, I like. Yeah. And I think he's better at this point.
Yeah.
Shout out to CH Sports, $5 dono. What's up, man? Thank you for the donation. He says, if you could bring back one retired Blazer to add to this team to help Dame, who would you choose? Eric has more knowledge in regards to former Blazers teams. So, Eric, who would you roll with for that?
Well, all right. My joke answer is going to be for Jackie Treehorn, Marcus Camby. So, yeah, if it's while they played on the Blazers, I think you have to go Bill Walton just because, I mean, he was the MVP. He could do it all. Phenomenal passer, phenomenal rebounder, could do everything. I think he's basically a souped up version of Nurkic, like everything we'd want Nurkic to be would be Walton. So I think that would be my answer. If we're talking just a player who played for the Blazers that you could have like in his prime, it's probably Scottie Pippen because that guy would just be such a difference maker, one of the best defensive players of all time, and would he would just slot right in at the three. He could play point guard from the three position. He could guard anyone in the league pretty much, and I think that would just be a game changer.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, Scottie Pippen just as a fit would be phenomenal. Like Sabonis is cool, but in today's NBA, I feel like his lack of foot speed would be really hard to deal with defensively.
Maybe when we drafted him at 86 or whatever year that was.
Yeah, if you're talking about like, but
before he had his injuries, yeah.
But like former Blazers is like players that played for the Blazers, so I'm just going based off like when they played for the Blazers.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, I mean, Scottie Pippen at his prime then too, right? Like, so based on like guys and how they played when they played for the Blazers, I think Sabonis' lack of foot speed would just get devoured in today's NBA. Who's another good one? Like Bill Walton, I guess, but I don't know like Bill Walton's game. I don't know a ton about it, and I don't know how it would work in today's NBA either. I know Scottie Pippen would be phenomenal.
Walton was very mobile, like it wouldn't be an issue. He was very quick-footed until he had the foot problems, but yeah.
Jackson's going with Allen Crabbe.
So Clyde is one of the obvious answers, but I don't know. I mean, I guess he could play small forward. I think we have enough scoring. I would look for a little more well-rounded and some more size.
We already have the next Clyde anyway, so.
Sheed would be interesting. Brian Grant would be interesting.
I'd just go Scotty. Scotty would be a perfect fit.
Yeah. SIBO.
No. Emerson says Gabe or Romp.
No, Mr. V. No love for LaRue Martin. Sorry.
Oh man. I'm just reading back some old comments that are making me laugh, man. Gabe's funny. Are there any other ones that you see?
Oh, you're not gonna answer that one?
Gabe or Romp? As YouTubers? or as well, like
I don't know. I guess one
what's the criteria? What am I judging them off of?
one is your BFF forever, and one has to die. I don't know.
Jeez, man.
I'm just kidding.
Dude, like Gabe and Romp are like a package deal, man. Whenever Gabe comes along, Romp comes along. Like they are like inseparable. So I'm sure if I like chose Gabe to be my friend and Romp to die, like Gabe would choose to go with Romp to the afterlife. So dynamic duo, yeah. There is one, let me see. Would you rather replace Blazers Trail Cat mascot or win 500 Scratch Lotto? Give me the 500 Scratch Lotto. You can't, like, how do you, is there a better mascot for the Blazers? I mean, I can't come up with a better mascot. Like, there's really not any great options, so give me the $500, baby.
Blaze has been nice to my kids, so yeah, I'm taking the $500 too. It doesn't really bother me who the mascot is.
Gray Hughes investigates $5 dono. Thank you again, Gray, for the donations, man. He says Sabonis in the '88 Olympics was as mobile as you can get. He destroyed David Robinson. Watched the highlights and saying he then ruptured both Achilles. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Sabonis' game before he was a Blazer, but based on the question, I was thinking about it. Players who they were when they played for the Blazers as former Blazers, like, you know, we could go out there and sign, you know. If Michael Jordan was an owner, we could go out there and sign Michael Jordan and then say, yeah, if we could just bring back Michael Jordan, right? Like, so I wasn't thinking based off that. I know Sabonis was absolutely dominant before he came to the league. He was one of the best players in the world, just had an unfortunate situation. He could, I mean, we probably would have another ring if he could have come over earlier.
Dang politics, man. But, Sabonis was... I mean, think Jokic, but with like Dwight Howard mobility. Like it was insane. Like I've never seen someone dominate from a center position as much as Sabonis did in that Olympics. That was a couple years ago. I actually went and rewatched some of the games from that. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it was Sabonis came over. He was like weighed 100 more pounds and couldn't move at all. It was crazy. Yep.
Blevins enthusiast apparently didn't hear us respond to the first time somebody said nobody said Clyde. Let's see. We had there's something I wanted to respond to. Oh, somebody asked. Oh, this wasn't it. Jackson says Prime Fortnite or Prime Among Us. Prime Among Us all day, man. that got me through the pandemic. I miss Prime Among Us, man. Among Us was fun. Would you rather have Debo Samuel or Jerry Rice?
Oh man, you gotta have Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice is the best.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about trying to win, Jerry Rice. Debo's like my favorite 49er.
Yeah.
So that'd be hard, you know. If you're talking about like, you know, I never saw Jerry Rice and Debo Samuel's my favorite 49er. Like, you know, I love having Debo, man. It sucked when he requested a trade, but I said that he was going to be back. But yeah, obviously Jerry Rice is the GOAT.
Mm.
We'll do a couple more and then we'll sign off the stream. This has been really good engagement. And we appreciate it. Iverson, I'm not answering that question, man.
I'd rather work with Flex.
I can't. I don't even know if I am allowed to answer that question. So, but yeah, what Eric said. Is Elijah Mitchell going to keep the starting role? I think so, unless he gets hurt.
He is hurt right now. I don't know.
Yeah, he seems like he might be injury prone. So then it's Trey Sermon or the rookie with the hyphenated name that Tyrion Davis Price or whatever his name is.
One gets eliminated. Niners or M's? Ask Jackson. The M's get eliminated because I'm not a Mariners fan. So
yeah.
And they've been irrelevant for 20 plus years. So
yeah, I mean, I would take a Mariners playoff burst. Like, if you're talking about one of them can make the playoffs and lose in the first round, I'm taking that for the M's just to break the drought.
Mm.
Nice question, Taylor. Not gonna answer it. Shout out to CH Sports, another $5 donut. Thank you, man. Says, what does our record need to be at the end of the season for the season to be successful? That's a good question. Eric, how many wins for it to be a successful regular season? Let's assume they're healthy, because obviously if they're like deal with a bunch of injuries, then the bar is going to be a little bit lower. But if they're healthy,
I don't necessarily think it's a number of wins, even though that's the question. But I mean, if they get like 45 wins, and that's good enough for the six, because like everyone beats each other in the West, I think that's fine. But yeah, it's more like just whatever win total they need to avoid the play-in game, I think is a successful season at this point. So probably going to have to get to around 50 wins for that to happen.
Yeah, I'd say like 46, 47 is where I'm at.
Yeah.
And honestly, I have them as the 7th best team in the West right now. So, and I don't know. I'm not confident in them being over the teams I have them over. So, I mean, I have no idea what to expect next year is where I'm at. So it's hard to even say what a successful season should be. So 46 wins is kind of where I'm at with that. If they win 50 wins and like are the 8th seed, then I have a hard time saying that's not a successful season. It's just the West is just insane,
I guess 48 wins was the 6th seed last year. Probably be pretty close to that this year. Although I think that the top teams will be a little closer. Like, I don't know, Phoenix is going to win 64 again. They'll probably be in the upper 50s, and Memphis will probably win a few less games. So, yeah.
Would you rather have Dame or Trey in the 2023-2024 season?
I'm rolling with Dame no matter what, so that'll always
I'd rather have 60-year-old Dame, man. I'm loyal to Dame no matter what, because Dame's been loyal to us. So, yeah, I like. You could have Giannis offered for Dame. I'm not taking that trade. Loyalty's a two-way street. All right, yeah. The questions are kind of getting a little off the deep end here, so to say. So. One more good one, and then we will... Ricky J, I'm keeping the Blazers roster because of Dame.
Ooh, by random draw? Yeah, I'm not risking that.
Yeah, and that's pretty risky, too, so... It's more likely we end up... I don't know. Okay. Like, it's a 50-50 chance of being better or worse, but I'm just rolling with Dame all the way, man. We had this on the last one, Blevins Enthusiast. On the last time we did Would You Rather. Saltiest, we already have a good QB, and KD is never going to the Blazers, so...
Would you rather have Alfred Payton's hair or Harden's beard? Harden's beard just looks nasty all the time, so I'm gonna take the hair, I guess.
I'm gonna take the hair too, because I can always wear a hat and I can always style it differently. Jackie Treehorn, I don't really drink beer, so... But, I mean, Dame. Let's see. One more good one. I'm waiting for someone to come through. There's some decent ones.
Rump says take the hat off. I'm assuming he's talking to you.
Dude, you can see the haircut. I cut it a week and a half ago. Or is he talking about Alfred haircut? I don't know what he's talking about.
Bland James keeps asking if Terry Stotts back, but he has to be either coach or GM.
I
I
mean,
guess
GM,
I'm
let him
picking.
right. Don't let him on the
I'm
bench.
picking GM too. I guess. Yeah.
Stotts wins a championship with the Lakers, or Olshey wins a championship as GM. I mean, Olshey wins a championship as GM because I don't want to see, like, I don't want to see the Lakers win a
Right. Yeah.
championship. That's what it comes down to.
Would you rather
Taylor,
do
I
a
mean, that
24?
one. But yeah, would you rather do a 24-hour stream once a month or 3-hour streams daily, 365? I mean, the 3-hour streams daily would be better for content than one stream a month that's 24 hours. So
Yeah.
Roy 30 assists per night equals more points than 30 points per night, so I'd go with that. Would you rather? This is a good one. Would you rather talk ball with Stephen A. or Skip Bayless, Eric?
Stephen A.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's. I feel like Skip's just gone off the deep end, just completely lost it. Whereas Stephen A, I think it's more of an act, and so I think if you just like got to talk hoops with him, he'd actually be somewhat decent. But that's bad question.
Would you rather have Jabari Walker or Shaden Sharp for their careers? I mean, Shaden Sharp, he was a 7th overall pick, and Jabari Walker was a 2nd round guy. So I'd go with Shaden Sharp.
Yeah, I mean you gotta go for the higher upside right now, but Jabari Walker's my guy. So, but you gotta take Sharp.
Yeah, I mean otherwise you're basically saying the Blazers should have drafted Jabari Walker at 7.
Right. Would you rather start Shaq or Charles Barkley at their current ages? I'm gonna take Shaq because
at least he's
young.
Tall.
He's younger and can still. He could probably use his size to like score still, whereas Barkley can't really move that much. I don't see him playing much basketball anymore.
Gabe, we're not going to keep having this Sohan versus Sharp debate, and you can't even spell Sohan's name right because there's a C in it. So, man, every time, not every time, but all the time, man, Romp loves to argue Sohan over Sharp, and then Gabe just sits there and, like, eggs it on, and, yeah, there it is. Have Ramp on to discuss. Yeah, there it is. Jeez. Alright, you want to wait for one more good one, or
Sure.
you want to call it?
Eulogy, neither, because neither of us do that. So.
Yep.
Kai Soto or Drew Eubanks? Kai Soto would be cool to have for the. I mean, it would be kind of annoying, like the mellow stuff, but yeah.
I wouldn't like. Is this weird? But like, I don't know. I feel like I should talk about this. But I'd rather get to 10K subs like the hard way, like earning every sub, than like, oh, we got Kai Soto, and within a like 2 weeks we have 10K subs. You know.
Yeah.
True. So yeah, obviously it'd be better for the channel, but like I really like our community. I wouldn't want it to just like maybe within 2 months all of a sudden we double our subs and double our community, but like half of our community is people that like aren't actually our community. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Are actually Blazers fans. They're just fans of a player. So I would take. I mean, Drew Eubanks is better, and I wouldn't want like everything that comes with Kai Soto, if that makes sense. Oh man,
Romp.
See, dude, like Romp and Gabe. Oh, they're such trolls, man. They are trolls. Romp, I'm taking the first one. All right.
Here's a post-game show after the first game. Kai Soto does not play. 50,000 people in chat like, talk about Kai Soto's performance. He didn't play. I don't care. Talk about him. No, stop talking about Dame scoring 50. Like, just
Stupid team didn't play Kai Soto. Like, yeah,
we
that's
won.
what
We
it'd
won
be,
by
dude.
30. No, it doesn't matter. Kai didn't play.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be able to enjoy YouTube, like if that was the case, man. Like yeah, the more I think about it, the less I would want Kai Soto on the team.
Tori, how come you don't talk about Kai Soto's plus minus, but you bring it up in games he plays bad? Or
Oh, God, it'd be like Carmelo on steroids. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's cool that he has a ton of support, man. I'm not knocking the support group. It's just, yeah, as part of where we cover the Blazers, and they would basically, he has such a support group that it would override what we have.
What?
We've worked really hard to build this up, and it just override things like after a month.
I mean, if you felt like you couldn't be critical in the last stream, can you imagine if you say one bad thing about Kai Soto? I mean,
Kai Soto just has to prove that he's that guy, man. Oh, you're a Kai Soto
there's
hater.
like hundreds of thousands of people that hate the Blazers irrationally because we didn't draft him at 57 when like no team drafted him. It's not just Blazers. I don't know.
Oh man. Yeah.
A couple of quick hitters. AZ Nightmare says Chris Middleton or Bradley Beal. That's 100% Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton better fit.
Nurkic or Jonas Valanciunas. 100% Nurkic for me.
Yep. Agreed.
Yep. David Chavez. They did announce some preseason games. I think it starts like October 6th, and then we play a back-to-back on the 7th, I believe. I might have a day or so.
Something like that.
And then we play like the 9th or something. We have 4 games. And then they announced we're opening the season against the Kings again. But that's all we know so far. I think the rest of the schedule's out Wednesday, right?
Yeah. Dude, it's funny, man. Like, other teams' local media will, like, a Kings local media guy broke the news that the Kings would be playing the Blazers on opening night.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a tweet. I'm not going to say names because, I'm not even trying to be critical. It's just funny. There's a tweet from one of our local media guys that was like, the Blazers will play 82 games this year. 41 will be at home and 41 will be on the road.
Yeah.
It was just like, man. It was funny. Like, that's what we get. 82 games in a season, guy.
Drew Eubanks or Dragan Bender? Drew Eubanks.
Yeah, Eubanks or Biyombo. I mean, they're both.
I'm going to stick with my guy Eubanks.
Yeah, like, they're both just not, that good. I love how I say, man, I'm not going to say this because I'm not trying to even be critical, and somebody just says it in chat. Yeah, if you saw the tweet, you know what I'm talking about, man. It was just funny. It was just funny. Rump, what is your obsession with this? You're more obsessed than I am. Anyway.
And speaking of not spelling it right, even I know that.
Yeah.
Jokic or Embiid one-on-one, I would take Embiid. Jokic, I think, plays off his teammates more, so I think Embiid has better one-on-one skills.
Yep.
Kind of like Tori versus me. Tori's always going to beat me because I need to play off someone else. So.
Yeah. Something like that.
I hate one-on-one. Yeah.
I mean, I am a passer, though, man. My Sunday league game, which is like my try-hard, high-level league. We're the number 1 team right now, by the way. Had I think 2 points, 10 assists, and probably around 10 boards.
What's up, Josh? Do you have a question? You can feel free to ask our last Would You Rather.
Man, I would love for one fellow YouTuber in our chat right now to give us a serious Would You Rather. Saltiest Gaming from Suns Valley Podcast says, Mikal Bridges or Dame?
Oh, good one.
Oh, man. And I bet you all these guys are in a voice chat together right now. Nope, they're not. The voice chat died. Rest in peace. At least they're all here. All right, here's a good one. Let's end on this. Wait, was there one before that? Somebody said, "Go Josh, best question." I don't see a question from Josh though. GP2 or Bruce Brown from 09 Loki, who just said it again, even though I read it. Who would you go? Who would you rather have?
I mean, they're pretty equal.
That's hard.
I'll just say Peyton because he's a Beaver and now a Blazer, so I'll stick with him because he's our guy now.
Yeah, like, those guys are very even to me. Bruce Brown, I mean, I don't know if Bruce Brown can guard forwards better. He has more size and more strength, but Gary Payton just is something else, you know, so... and Gary Payton's cutting is really, really good. And he improved his three-point shot to 36%. And Bruce Brown, I think, is worse than that. So, yeah, I'd probably go with GP2, but it's extremely, extremely close. If we signed Bruce Brown and didn't sign Gary Payton II, I'd probably talk myself into saying Bruce Brown.
Right.
So that's how close it is.
I think he signed for the tax mid-level, so he wouldn't be hard-capped right now.
Yeah. Yeah. As if they wouldn't go... As if they'd go into the tax anyway, though, you know?
Ooh, Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones?
Never seen either.
Definitely Breaking Bad because Game of Thrones, I just cannot get over the last couple seasons. So, yeah, early Game of Thrones was phenomenal, but I just can't choose it over a show that was quality all the way through, like Breaking Bad.
Yep. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this stream. Thank you to everybody who gave us questions for this. This has been fun. We will have a stream on Thursday discussing the Blazers schedule, which will drop on Wednesday. Tomorrow, I will have a video on the main channel, Blazers Pulse, and then Wednesday, I'll have a schedule breakdown once that schedule drops. Trevin says, Tori's saying yep, like he agrees. Yeah, I haven't seen Breaking Bad or I don't watch TV shows really, so yeah, I'm saying yep even though I haven't seen them, you know. I don't know what else to say for that. But yeah, we'll be live again on Thursday to talk schedule and maybe anything else newsworthy. But at this point, there's not going to be much news. So we'll talk schedule and we can take questions from chat once again. Just kind of interact and hang out with you guys. It's always fun to take a step back and relax and just talk with chat. So we appreciate your guys' engagement and we appreciate you guys making the community what it is with that engagement. So, yeah, anything else you want to say, Eric?
No, thanks for all the good questions tonight and for all the times you guys bring it in chat. Appreciate all of you and have a good night.
Yep, thank you to everyone who donated as well. JM, Hyperprime, Gray Hughes, and CH Sports. Appreciate that as well. And with that being said, we'll catch you next time. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.